But the story that's breaking tonight is a big one. A massive security breach has now been reported from the high security Shastri Bhavan Petroleum Ministry this evening. And this comes just a week before the union budget. The Delhi crime branch has now arrested 5 people on charges of leaking or attempting to access documents of the Petroleum Ministry pertaining to various policy matters and benefit suspected corporate houses. The detained people are accused of leaking this confidential information to business houses to try and tweak policy decisions of the government. The documents included, as we are saying, confidential documents that come under the Official Secrets Act of the Government of India. Headlines today has gathered that the documents of the Petroleum Ministry were leaked to benefit a specific business house. The police is considering now slapping charges for violation of the Official Secrets Act on all those arrested. That's the big story. 2 Petroleum Ministry employees, Ishwar Singh and Asaram, are among the 5 people who've been arrested for allegedly leaking these confidential documents to private companies. An employee of a corporate house has also been detained. According to the police, also we are being told that one journalist who runs a website of the petroleum sector has also been detained. The accused allegedly gave confidential information to private companies in return for money. That's the big story that's breaking at the moment. Let's listen into the first reactions that are coming in to that big story.
You see, from the from the preliminary investigation, because this incident, as you know, is of 17th night, so investigation is still in the preliminary stage, and on the basis of preliminary investigation, we can say that these documents had been obtained by certain independent energy consultants who were operating in the field of energy, and similarly certain companies which have been operating in the field of energy.
Okay, the Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan will be joining me in a moment. I've spoken to him a little while ago. We'll have him in a moment from now, but I want to first go to Narendra Taneja to ask that big question. How deep is the rot? Petroleum Ministry documents being leaked ahead of the union budget. Narendra Taneja is one of the country's foremost commentators when it comes to the petroleum sector. Appreciate your joining us, Narendra. How deep is the rot? What we are seeing today? Do you believe that this is part of some kind of a wider conspiracy where government documents are routinely leaked by middlemen to corporate houses, particularly in the petroleum sector where the stakes are so high?
Well, people who track petroleum and natural gas sector, I mean, they have suspected this happening for a very long time, and I think it's good that the government has finally decided to focus it in and basically try to end the whole thing. Because you see, let's not forget one thing, petroleum and natural gas is probably the most sensitive economic ministry in the country, probably more sensitive than even the finance ministry. And when you look at the overall the picture in terms of security, I look upon petroleum and natural gas ministry as the 4th most important leg in India's security after Navy, after Army, Navy and Air Force. So such is an importance. So no wonder that there are people willing to pay anything or do anything in order to basically take out information from Shastri Bhavan, the ministry, which houses the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. So I think it's a very serious matter, but the good thing is the government has taken the step and they're trying basically to check it, and now it's very important that the police is given free hand so that it's basically taken to the logical conclusion, and so that once and for all these things stop.
When you say, let me stop you there. You say once and for all it stopped. The fact is, this is not the first time. In 2001 also, top executives had been detained, FIRs had been filed. Nothing seemed to happen. So nothing seems to change. Do you believe that this is now a problem where, as they say in Hindi, hamam mein sab nange hain, where you have in this case apparently a journalist who's involved. We are told that there are bureaucrats who are involved. We are told there are corporates who are involved.
Well, I think if we are not able to stop it, then we are compromising with India's energy future and economic future as a whole, because don't forget one thing, energy, accounts for 25% of India's GDP. Petroleum and natural gas sector, the ministry we are talking about, is basically presides over a business of $300 billion. So look for an economy of our size, 1.9 trillion. I think this is a very big number. And Rajdeep, I want to share one thing with you. There are investors, both domestic and and foreign, more particularly foreign investors, they always kind of, when they come with proposals, they want to be absolutely sure that their proposals or letter of intent or their things are confidentiality is maintained. And there have been cases when in the last 4 or 5 years we have seen whether these things have actually gone out in the public domain even before these people who are given the presentation have reached back to their hotel room. So I think it is important, if we really love our country, we love this sector, that we put this, we stop this once and for all, and we make tough laws and we take tough steps so that this is basically stopped immediately.
I'm going to come to you in a moment, Narendra Taneja, for a bit more. I'm also going to try and go to our correspondents to find out, because I'm told now the police is going across the city. This investigation could result in many more arrests by late tonight. Just hold on for a minute, because just a short while ago I've spoken to the Petroleum Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan, and I began by asking Mr. Pradhan, what has happened today? Is this simply the tip of the iceberg, Mr. Pradhan? How deep-rooted is this problem of alleged corporate espionage, of government documents being leaked to corporates which could influence policy? Listen to what the minister had to say.
And fair governance, this kind of thing is very detrimental. This is not good at all in a democracy. I hope investigating agencies are there on their job. Let they do their job fairly. Nobody should spare, nobody is above law.
You are saying no one will be spared. You are giving us this assurance, but the fact is that we've seen in the past, powerful people are involved. Can you therefore really be able to take on the kind of corporate pressure which will be involved in a case like this?
It's up to agencies. I am assuring you, Rajdeepji, this initiative has, we have some doubt, we have some information. Due to our information, agencies has acted. Let me assure you, nobody will be spared, whoever he may be.
No one will be spared, whosoever he may be, is the big message you are giving. But the fact is, was your department keeping a track? You are saying you had information, you were tracking some information. Am I to understand there was some whistleblower? How did your petroleum ministry come to know that documents were being shared with corporate houses? Were you being given some special information? When did this story come to you for the first time?
Certainly, when we put no, nothing is hide. Everybody knows that certain important files, certain important paper moves away freely from out of ministry. All the economic ministry, there is ample number of examples in previous years. Such kind of thing happened repeatedly. When we came to power, we took our responsibility. We thought this illegal activity has to be stopped.
You're saying that you want this illegal activity to be stopped. The question I want to know, is there a link, sir, to the upcoming budget? Because it has come just a week before the union budget. These documents being leaked, is there a link to the budget at all?
I don't see any link on that. This is a regular affair. This was I don't see any linkage on that.
So you're saying there's no link to the budget, but PTI, sir, has gone ahead and named a top corporate as allegedly one of their officials being involved. Do you want to confirm that to us, that there is a top corporate which is allegedly involved in this in this espionage?
I don't know about it. I should not be subjective. This is up to it's not my job also. Let the investigating agency, they are the competent authority, they can tell.
I am being told already, sir, that several raids are being conducted across the national capital and it could even spread beyond Delhi. Is this, as I said at the start, a tip of the iceberg? Is there a wider conspiracy to take out government documents so that private companies can benefit?
I don't have any that kind of information.
Okay. One of the journalists, sir, we are being told a journalist is also involved who ran a petroleum website. Do you fear that people have access to such important documents, that despite all the claims that the government makes that these documents are confidential, the fact is these documents are leaked through middlemen, through bureaucrats, through even journalists to important people who might benefit from it?
I don't know this kind of information. This information to me, who are the person involved in that. I know some of our ministry people, lower level ministry people, those who have custodian of the key in the night, they are now in the police net. Let the investigation move ahead.
So you are making an important point that there are lower level petroleum ministry officials, but the fact that your ministry officials, whatever level they are being involved in sharing this information, Isn't this a cause of serious concern, sir?
Rajdeep ji, my Prime Minister is very clear on the day one, there will be zero tolerance to corruption.
Sir, I take you're saying that there will be zero tolerance to corruption. I will say this again. The reason I will ask this is because in 2001, when there was the Vajpayee NDA government, we had seen even at that time that there had been a similar instance, an FIR had been filed, but no further action was taken. Then when the UPA was in power also, there were similar allegations, particularly with the Petroleum Ministry. Can you once again confirm to me that no one will be spared, that this investigation will be taken to its logical conclusion?
It's up to the agencies who are coming, who are the person. Let the agency come out with the investigation is on. From our side, nobody is above law.
Are you saying therefore there will be no interference? Because let's be clear, the pressures will be great in a story like this, given the stakes that are involved in the Petroleum Ministry. As Petroleum Minister, are you saying you will not interfere with with this probe? You will allow the Delhi police to investigate whoever they want? In 2001, that did not happen.
Not at it's up to let agency do its free and fair investigation and their due diligence.
Sir, you're saying the agency will do its due diligence, but is it going to end here? Do you see that many more names coming out, many more arrests being made?
This kind of thing are detrimental to in a democracy and is unfortunate to deliver free and fair governance.
So I'm going to ask you this. Do you believe you've been saying, even in this interview, that these things were happening in the past? Your government has come in, you want to crack down on it. Mr. Modi wants to crack down on corruption at the bureaucratic level. Are you saying that this used to happen routinely during the UPA rule before you came to Petroleum Ministry?
I should not be judgmental. I should not be judgmental. Nothing is right in front of people. Everybody know what was the practice in previous days.
Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, appreciate your joining us. That was Dharmendra Pradhan talking to me a short while ago. I just want to go back to Narendra Taneja. Also, Atir Khan, our correspondent who's tracking this at the crime branch, is now joining us. Atir, appreciate your joining us there. At the moment, I'm told you are at the crime branch office. But first, you, Narendra Taneja, you heard the minister. Quick response from you, Mr. Taneja, to what you've just heard the minister say. Those are the pictures on your screen of the police now conducting those raids and arresting individuals. Quick response. Atir, you first. We finally got you on the line. There you are. I want to know, are there many more arrests going to be made in this case?
Well, most certainly, Rajdeep, it seems to be a well-oiled, racket which was operating, and it's not just as simple as making a duplicate key and putting up duplicate stickers on the cars and entering those premises. Our sources are telling us there's more than what meets the eye, and there are some major companies which are under the scanner, private energy consultants, and also petrochemical and energy industry, majors are also under the scanner, and several places have been searched in New Delhi itself, New Delhi building, an office and 5-star hotel. So we are getting to know there's much more action which is lined up with Delhi police as they are making investigation. One of the journalists has also been asked to join in probe. So clearly it's going to be action-packed day tomorrow, it seems, Rajdeep, while police is going to make several arrests in this case.
Atir, I just want to know, what are the nature of the documents that were being leaked? Do you have any clue? Were they documents of a very serious nature? Were they routine information? Were there important documents about policy matters? What was the nature of the documents that were being shared?
Well, our sources are telling us, Rajdeep, that those are classified documents which were, stolen from a very well secured place, Shastri Bhavan, which has the Petroleum Ministry. It is very well guarded by CISF guards. But clearly, what we are getting to know is that police is trying to sift through facts. They're going through the documents and they're trying to make up their mind whether a case of Official Secret Act be registered, or is it just a case of theft, right, which looks unlikely in the present scenario, Rajdeep.
I'm going to give one final question to you, Narendra Taneja. Do you believe that these documents are of a nature that they can influence government policy? I mean, can a corporate get huge benefits with these documents, or are these routine? Is this routine communication?
Well, the ministry is home to all kinds of information and documents, Rajdeep, and one does really know. So I would like to wait for more information, because right now it seems the junior level people are involved, and the minister has also made it very clear the government is going to is already decided to crack down, or they're going to basically, you know, do whatever is necessary.
But do you believe
That's
that will
not
happen?
the question. I think the bigger question
Narendra Taneja, do you believe that from your experience of covering this ministry, do you believe that when the minister tells me just now on the program tonight, no one will be spared? Can I believe the minister? In the past, as I've said, I have numerous examples where corporate espionage FIRs are filed, but there is no real investigation. Will that change, you believe, with Narendra Modi?
Rajdeep, I have no, you know, I'm absolutely no reasons not to believe the minister. I think the government is serious. Also, you see, Make in India, in the petroleum and natural gas sector, Make in India campaign, I mean, petroleum and natural gas sector is going to be probably the biggest contributor. So everything has to be basically set in order. The house needs to be set in order to attract investment, whether domestic investment or international investment, and not only Make in India, a number of other campaigns, infrastructure, creating more jobs and all that. Petroleum and natural gas sector is going to be a very important sector. So I think whatever, for instance, loophole, leakages and all that need to be fixed in order to attract investment and create the more healthy environment in the country as far as the petroleum natural gas sector is concerned. So I buy what the minister says.
Okay, you buy what the minister says. We will keep tracking that. Atir Khan, they're outside the police headquarters now at Vijay Chowk. They're telling us exactly what's happening. We expect many more arrests to be made, we are told, in the next 24 hours. Narendra Taneja, Atir Khan, appreciate your joining us on that big story that's breaking this evening.